Sweden isn't just a postcard-perfect destination filled with lakes, forests, and northern lights. It's a living blueprint for what a balanced, respectful society can look like. It's a place where harmony isn't a luxury. It's the default setting. If you're chasing a life that combines modern comfort with deeper meaning, this Nordic country might just be your calling. Sweden, a benchmark for quality and social equity. Though Sweden spans around 450,000 square kilometers and houses just over 10.5 million people, its global reputation far outweighs its size. It's consistently ranked among the best countries in the world when it comes to quality of life, not just because of the staggering 267,000 islands that dot its coastline or the 70% forest cover that turns the landscape into a natural sanctuary, but because of how the country chooses to function. Clean air, low pollution, and strict environmental regulations are more than talking points here. They're lived realities. But what elevates Sweden beyond just its eco-credentials is its social architecture. The nation guarantees free healthcare and education for all, creating a baseline of dignity and stability that few other places offer. People aren't judged by their bank accounts, family background, or job titles. They're valued as individuals with equal rights, no matter where they start in life. Sweden doesn't just offer livability, it offers peace of mind. In a world where so many live in survival mode, here you get to plan a future, breathe clean air, and access top-tier services without financial stress. Thinking of escaping gridlock, smog, and burnout? Maybe Sweden, with its forest trails, sparkling lakes, and zero-worry healthcare, isn't just a fantasy. It's a real, livable dream. Tempted? Go ahead, like this post before you go price-checking those Stockholm flights. Swedish women, empowered, elegant, and unapologetically independent. Swedish women have long captured the world's imagination, not just for their classic beauty, but for the strength and confidence that radiate from within. Their appeal lies in the way they live, boldly, freely, and on their own terms. Here, women aren't raised to follow, they're taught to lead. From early education to the workplace and beyond, Swedish girls grow up in an environment that actively supports gender equality. It's not uncommon for women to excel in leadership roles, run their own businesses, or pursue personal goals with unapologetic clarity. Many Swedish women choose not to prioritize marriage or traditional family structures, instead crafting lives rooted in self-growth, independence, and partnerships built on mutual respect. In Sweden, feminism doesn't have to shout from protest signs or social media feeds. It's built into the very systems that govern daily life. Maternity and paternity leave are equal, pay gaps are aggressively closed, and gender equality isn't an aspiration, it's a reality. Swedish women are strong, self-aware, and fiercely independent. So, the real question is, are you still waiting for someone to notice your message, or are you ready to start living on your own terms? Swedish daily life, where rest isn't earned, it's respected. Life in Sweden flows with an intentional rhythm that many in high-pressure cultures can only dream of. Swedes work hard, but they don't glamorize being overworked. They start their days early, focus during work hours, and then clock out, really clock out, to protect time for family dinners, nature walks, or simple moments of peace. One of the most refreshing aspects of Swedish life is its generous time-off culture. Citizens typically enjoy 5 to 6 weeks of paid vacation every year, and that doesn't even include national holidays. But beyond the numbers, what stands out is the cultural respect for downtime. Taking a break here isn't seen as laziness, it's seen as necessary. Whether it's a ski trip to the north or simply unwinding in a cabin by the lake, time off is sacred. Swedes believe in work-life balance not just as a personal goal, but as a societal value. Employers trust their teams, and in turn, people work more efficiently and feel more fulfilled. When rest is normalized, mental health improves, creativity flourishes, and families grow closer. In Sweden, productivity doesn't mean sacrificing your peace, and success isn't measured by burnout. It's a reminder that life isn't just about existing. It's about living fully, deeply, and without apology. A taste of the North, where the landscape meets the plate. Swedish cuisine might not set your mouth on fire like a Thai curry or dazzle with the color of an Indian thali, but that's exactly the point. It whispers where others shout. The flavors here are subtle, clean, and deeply rooted in the rhythms of nature and heritage. Signature dishes like köttbullar, Swedish meatballs, surströmming, fermented Baltic herring, smörgåstorta, savory sandwich cake, and gravlax, cured salmon, are more than national favorites. They're reflections of a land shaped by long winters, short growing seasons, and a deep respect for what the earth offers. These foods evolved not just for taste, but for survival, preservation, and sharing across generations. What makes Swedish cuisine unique is its quiet commitment to purity. Ingredients are local, seasonal, and often organic. Preparation is simple, almost meditative, allowing the original flavors to shine without unnecessary embellishment. It's food that honors the forest, the sea, and the farm, with every bite telling a story. In Sweden, meals are rarely rushed. Dining is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, your surroundings, and the people at your table. It's not about indulgence or showmanship, it's about presence. So while it may not be flamboyant, Swedish food carries something even more enduring: authenticity, balance, and soul. Fika, the coffee break that feeds the soul. Forget what you know about coffee breaks. In Sweden, taking a moment to pause over coffee isn't just a habit, it's practically sacred. This beloved tradition is called Fika, and it's more than sipping a hot drink. It's a cultural heartbeat. At its core, Fika is a moment carved out of the day to slow down, recharge, and connect. Typically, it's a cup of black coffee, strong, always strong, paired with a sweet pastry, most often a kanelbulle, the legendary cinnamon bun. But the real magic of Fika lies not in the food, but in the ritual, the conversation, the stillness, the togetherness. What sets Fika apart is how deeply it's woven into Swedish life. It happens in homes, in cafes, and yes, even in the workplace. In many Swedish companies, Fika is a scheduled part of the workday. It's not just allowed, it's expected. Colleagues gather, put down their screens, and talk like humans, not job titles. In a world obsessed with speed and output, Fika offers a gentle rebellion. It reminds us that taking time doesn't mean wasting time. And in that simple act of pausing, Swedes find something richer than productivity: presence, connection, and humanity. So the next time you reach for your phone during your break, ask yourself, are you taking a moment to scroll or a moment to live? Traditional festivals, holding hands with the past. Despite its reputation as a progressive, tech-forward nation, Sweden hasn't let modernity erase its deep-rooted traditions. In fact, seasonal festivals remain an essential part of Swedish identity, connecting people not only to each other, but to the land, the seasons, and their ancestors. Midsummer is arguably the most cherished of all. Celebrated around the summer solstice, it's a joyful explosion of flower crowns, maypole dances, and long outdoor meals under the endless northern sky. Tables overflow with pickled herring, new potatoes, fresh dill, and ripe strawberries. It's a time when even the most reserved Swedes sing folk songs and dance barefoot on the grass. Come winter, the mood shifts to something more reflective. St. Lucia's Day, held in mid-December, casts a soft light in the darkest part of the year. Young girls dressed in white carry candles on their heads, singing ancient songs that echo through churches and homes, a beautiful fusion of Nordic folklore and Christian reverence for light. Meanwhile, Walpurgis Night, Valborg, in April, marks the changing of the seasons with blazing bonfires and spring songs. From village greens to urban parks, Swedes gather to chase away the cold and welcome warmer days ahead. These festivals are not just fun, they're cultural anchors. They carry the wisdom of the past, honor nature's cycles, and remind each new generation that tradition isn't about staying still. It's about remembering where you came from as you move forward. Icehotel, where frozen dreams take shape. Tucked away in the snowy village of Jukkasjärvi in Swedish Lapland lies one of the world's most awe-inspiring creations, the Icehotel. Each winter, this architectural wonder rises from the frozen banks of the Torne River, built entirely from blocks of ice and packed snow. And each spring, it melts back into nature, vanishing as quietly as it arrived. It's not just a hotel, it's a living sculpture, an ode to impermanence, and a celebration of Arctic art. But the Icehotel is more than just a novelty for adventurous travelers. What sets it apart is its transformation into a seasonal gallery of ice-carved masterpieces. Every year, artists from around the world are invited to design and sculpt unique suites, each telling a story, whether it's rooted in Norse legends, polar wildlife, or cosmic fantasy. Imagine sleeping beneath crystal chandeliers made of ice, lying on a bed sculpted from frozen water, warmed by reindeer hides and thermal sleeping bags. It's surreal, it's silent, it's spiritual. There's also a permanent structure, Icehotel 365, kept cool year-round with solar-powered refrigeration, blending ecological consciousness with luxury tourism. This fusion of nature, design, and renewable tech reflects the Swedish ethos. Don't fight nature, collaborate with it. In a world of concrete and convenience, the Icehotel reminds us that beauty doesn't need to last forever to be unforgettable. Financial transparency, when openness builds trust. In most countries, the idea of revealing your income is unthinkable, but in Sweden, it's just another day of being, well, Swedish. Anyone can access another person's income, assets, and tax returns, and that's not some bureaucratic oversight. It's part of a deliberate system built on trust, equality, and accountability. This radical transparency is baked into Sweden's public records. Far from being invasive, it's viewed as a safeguard, a way to keep society fair. It discourages shady dealings, helps monitor inequality, and ensures the rich don't hide behind loopholes. In short, it keeps everyone honest. In a nation where fairness matters more than flaunting wealth, this openness is embraced as a moral standard, not a privacy breach. Thanks to these principles, Sweden consistently lands among the top countries in global transparency rankings, with low levels of corruption and high public trust in institutions. So, yeah, Swedes make their income public to help keep society fair. And you? The only number you're revealing is the one on your overdraft notice. 480 days of parental leave, where family comes first. In Sweden, raising a child isn't just a private responsibility. It's a shared societal priority, and that belief is written directly into law. New parents are entitled to a combined 480 paid days of parental leave. Let that sink in. 480 days. That's well over a year of paid time to bond with your child, without sacrificing job security or financial stability. And it's not just for moms. The system is designed to ensure both parents are involved. At least 90 of those days are exclusively reserved for each parent and can't be transferred, so fathers can't opt out, and mothers aren't left doing it all alone. This encourages equal parenting from day one and promotes gender equality inside the home. Beyond leave, the Swedish government sweetens the deal with monthly child allowances, affordable daycare, flexible work arrangements, and tax benefits. It's a holistic ecosystem that ensures no parent has to choose between nurturing their child and keeping their career on track. This is how Sweden raises generations, with compassion, structure, and intention. And in doing so, they build a society where children thrive, women stay empowered, and families grow without breaking under pressure. Imagine a country where your newborn comes with time, support, and no fine print. Sweden's Northern Lights, a celestial symphony in the Arctic sky. Between late September and early March, northern Sweden transforms into one of the world's most mesmerizing natural theaters. In remote Arctic regions such as Abisko, Kiruna, and Jukkasjärvi, the long polar nights unveil a cosmic spectacle, the Northern Lights. As night falls over this frozen wilderness, streams of green, violet, crimson, and gold ripple across the heavens in hypnotic waves, echoing the ancient myths of Norse gods and northern magic. What truly distinguishes Sweden from other aurora hunting destinations is its remarkably consistent viewing conditions. The skies in northern Sweden are often cloud-free and virtually untouched by artificial light. This makes for a crystal-clear visual experience that's as close to pure as nature allows. Abisko, in particular, enjoys international fame thanks to its blue hole, a rare meteorological phenomenon that keeps the skies above Lake Tornatrask clear, even when neighboring regions are overcast. To many travelers, seeing the aurora borealis is not just a bucket list achievement, it's a soul-stirring moment. There's something humbling about watching the Earth's magnetic field interact with solar particles in complete silence under a black Arctic dome. It's an invitation to pause, to feel small yet connected, and to marvel at the powerful, poetic energy of our planet's skies. The Swedish Passport, a key to the world. Being a Swedish citizen comes with more than just a top-tier quality of life. It also grants access to one of the most respected and far-reaching passports in existence. With visa-free or visa-on-arrival entry to over 190 countries, Swedish travelers move through the world with rare ease, crossing borders from Europe to Asia, the Americas to Oceania, often without the bureaucracy that others must navigate. But it's not just about travel freedom. The Swedish passport also unlocks full residency, education, and employment rights across all EU member states. For young Swedes, this creates a borderless future. They can study in Paris, intern in Rome, launch a business in Lisbon, or relocate to Berlin without worrying about immigration red tape. This high level of global mobility reflects Sweden's strong global standing. The country is known for its diplomatic integrity, adherence to human rights, and commitment to international cooperation. Swedish citizenship is more than a legal status. It's a symbol of a nation that is trusted, progressive, and deeply respected around the world. Untouched wilderness, Sweden's living canvas of green. Sweden's natural beauty feels like something lifted from a storybook. Except here, it's all real. More than 2/3 of the country is cloaked in dense forest, and over 100,000 lakes glisten like polished glass across its vast terrain. From mossy southern groves to the icy tundras of Lapland, the Swedish landscape offers a sanctuary of silence, purity, and awe. What makes nature even more accessible here is a unique legal tradition called allemansrätten, or every man's right. This national policy allows everyone, locals and visitors alike, to freely roam the countryside, hike through forests, pitch tents on open land, and even pick wild berries and mushrooms. As long as nature is respected and privacy is honored, the land is open to all. This isn't just a law, it's a national ethic that reflects how deeply nature is woven into the Swedish way of life. This deep bond with the environment helps explain why Sweden regularly ranks among the happiest nations on Earth. Nature isn't just a background scene here, it's part of daily well-being. Swedes go to the forest not just for recreation, but for restoration. And in a country where stepping outside means you're practically guaranteed fresh air and clean water, it's no wonder people feel energized, centered, and balanced. Let's be honest. While in some places a forest walk is a weekend escape, in Sweden it's almost a public service. And back home, taking a digital detox in the woods might get you worried texts before it gets you inner peace. Cost of living, high transparency, higher value. Sweden is often ranked among the top countries for quality of life, and with that distinction comes a price tag, though one that many see as more than fair. Monthly living expenses for an individual typically fall between $1,300 and $2,800, depending on lifestyle preferences, region, and spending habits. Naturally, urban centers like Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö tend to push those figures higher, while smaller towns offer more affordability. But unlike in many places where high prices might suggest unnecessary extravagance, Sweden's elevated costs are closely tied to tangible benefits. Here, people willingly pay more to ensure long-term well-being and social equity. The bulk of one's budget goes toward clean, efficient housing, fresh, responsibly sourced food, universally accessible healthcare, tuition-free education, and world-class public transport. Ethical consumerism is not a niche concept. It's a mainstream reality. Swedes often choose to support renewable energy, local farms, and sustainable goods even if they cost more upfront. The belief is simple. Paying more now is an investment in a better society for everyone. When stacked up against countries like the United States, Sweden's expenses might look steep at first glance. But when you strip away the burden of student debt, private insurance premiums, and out-of-pocket healthcare costs, Sweden often proves to be the smarter and more humane economic choice. Importing waste, where trash becomes national treasure. In a world grappling with overflowing landfills and toxic waste, Sweden has flipped the script. It recycles so efficiently, nearly 100% of all household waste, that it actually runs out of garbage. Rather than let its recycling plants sit idle, Sweden imports over 1.5 million tons of waste annually from other countries, including Norway, Germany, the UK, and Italy. This isn't just a quirky statistic. It's the heart of a circular economy in action. Through an advanced waste-to-energy system, non-recyclable waste is incinerated under carefully monitored conditions. The heat generated powers central heating systems and produces electricity for homes, while emission controls ensure minimal environmental harm, meeting some of the world's strictest standards. Sweden's approach is more than a technical success. It's a mindset. Here, garbage isn't a dead end. It's a raw material waiting for reinvention. By turning a global waste problem into a renewable energy solution, Sweden not only sustains its own infrastructure, but also provides waste management relief for its European neighbors. It's a shining example of what's possible when innovation meets environmental responsibility, and when policy dares to imagine a world where trash doesn't get buried but reborn. Design and creativity, the minimalist heart of innovation. Sweden is much more than icy forests and social equality. It's a creative powerhouse where design and innovation shape everyday life. From the flat-packed brilliance of IKEA to the global music revolution led by Spotify and the accessible fashion empire of H&M, Swedish ingenuity has left a lasting global footprint. What gives Swedish design its timeless appeal is the national philosophy of lagom, the idea that the best things in life strike the perfect balance. Swedish products aren't just beautiful, they're functional, sustainable, and purpose-driven. Whether it's a light fixture made of recycled wood, a mobile app that improves mental health, or a modular sofa that fits in tiny apartments, every detail is intentional. This commitment to simplicity and sustainability spans across industries. Swedish tech firms prioritize clean code and user-friendly design. Architecture leans into daylight, natural materials, and energy efficiency. Fashion brands are moving towards circular production models and second-hand economies. At its core, Swedish design doesn't just ask, what looks good? It asks, what makes life better for everyone? And in a noisy world full of excess, Sweden's quiet, thoughtful creativity speaks louder than ever. Education, the backbone of social equality. Education in Sweden isn't just a public service, it's a societal promise. From early childhood to university, every individual is guaranteed access to free, high-quality education, regardless of income, background, or nationality. This deeply rooted system is designed not just to teach, but to empower. Rather than pushing students through a rigid schedule of tests and memorization, Sweden nurtures curiosity and independent thinking. The focus is on developing well-rounded, emotionally intelligent learners who know how to ask meaningful questions, solve real-world problems, and collaborate effectively. Classrooms promote dialogue over silence, participation over obedience, and teamwork over fierce competition. What's more, students are given space to learn at their own pace. There is no culture of fear around grades. Achievement is measured not only by performance, but by growth, self-awareness, and engagement. The goal: to cultivate a generation of critical thinkers and compassionate citizens who value equality, understand nuance, and embrace diverse perspectives. In Sweden, education isn't a race to the top. It's a foundation upon which a fair, inclusive, and forward-looking society is built. A peaceful nation built on trust and compassion. Sweden has quietly earned a reputation as one of the most peaceful, humane, and trustworthy nations on earth. And it's not by accident. Low crime rates, a transparent justice system, and a culture of social trust form the backbone of Swedish society. People here have faith in their institutions, from government agencies to the police, and that trust is regularly earned through fairness, accountability, and inclusiveness. Corruption is rare, and the legal system treats everyone equally, whether native-born or newly arrived. Sweden goes beyond rhetoric by actively supporting vulnerable communities. Children, the elderly, refugees, and the disabled receive real, practical assistance, not just lip service. The streets feel safe at night. Public discourse remains civil. Neighbors respect each other's privacy while being quick to lend a hand if needed. There's no need to raise your voice to be heard, and disputes are often solved with calm reasoning rather than aggression. There's a quiet reassurance in knowing that in Sweden, you're not just a citizen, you're part of a collective. A society where people can leave their bikes unlocked outside cafes or step away from a stroller without worry. Meanwhile, in other places, even double locks can't silence the thought. Will it still be there in the morning? Visiting Sweden, a cultural starter pack for first-time guests. Sweden might be known for its high-tech, progressive lifestyle, but for travelers it also holds a few surprises. To blend in smoothly and respectfully, here are some key things to know before you arrive. Cash is almost extinct. Sweden is one of the most cashless countries in the world. Credit cards and mobile payment apps like Swish are accepted nearly everywhere, from major supermarkets to street food stands. Some places won't take cash at all, so it's smart to go digital. Public transport that actually works. Whether you're hopping on a city tram, regional train, or a ferry in the archipelago, Sweden's public transportation system is famously clean, punctual, and widely used. Tickets are typically bought via apps or prepaid travel cards. Locals prefer it not just for convenience, but for its lower environmental impact. Silence speaks volumes. Swedes are big on respecting personal space. You won't find loud phone calls on public transit or strangers chatting in queues. Keep your voice down in shared spaces, wait your turn in line, and don't take it personally if people aren't overly chatty. It's just part of the culture. Mind the boundaries. Want to ask someone about their job or income? Think twice. While Swedish salaries are public record, bringing it up in conversation is a big cultural no-no. Direct questions about wealth, politics, or religion are usually seen as invasive. Kindness here comes in quieter forms, like giving someone space or offering help without fanfare. In short, stay polite, stay quiet, and trust that beneath the cool exterior, you're among some of the most welcoming and respectful people you'll ever meet. If you're dreaming of a life with more balance, clean air, and space to breathe, maybe it's time for a change. With 267,000 islands, a culture rooted in fairness, and a deep respect for nature, Sweden isn't just a destination. It's a new way of living. Ready to leave the chaos behind and begin your journey toward calm? Sweden is waiting.